Today, I'm in America's Dairyland giving out samples of human breast milk. We're going to see if these dairy guzzlers want to try our milk or if they'd rather continue to suckle from cows. You want to try some freshly squeezed human breast milk?
No.
Why not? It's an ethical, consensual farm where the women have their babies and then whatever their baby doesn't drink, they donate that to us and then we give it to humans because we're against the dairy industry because the cows can't actually consent to having their babies taken away and then they're killed after a few years. We find that unethical, so that's why we're promoting HuMilk. You gonna try it?
Not particularly.
Okay.
I'm a milk fan. It doesn't sound very sustainable though.
It is sustainable because the women are already, as sustainable as having children is, right?
No, like I'm not against it. It's just like we use a lot of milk. I don't know if there's enough human milk.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I'll try some.
Hell yeah. We're anti-dairy industry because the cows can't actually consent, so we created this as an ethical alternative.
That's okay, fine.
Yeah, so let me know what you think. You don't like it?
No, what is that? That's not breast milk.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's like soy milk or something.
It's oat milk. You got us.
God damn it.
You don't like oat milk?
No, Oh, this is a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. That's a little disappointing.
There's no ethical consumption under capitalism.
I've heard that before, yeah.
It's the same argument, right?
No. So here's the thing with no ethical consumption under capitalism, right?
Yeah.
Can we acknowledge that there are degrees? Like, let's say I have a racist coffee shop here, and then I have a non-racist coffee shop here. We would say that going to the non-racist one is more moral than the other one, right?
Generally, yes.
Generally, yes or yes?
There are probably caveats, but sure.
Okay, so we agree that there are degrees of the no ethical consumption under capitalism. In the same way, could we agree that it's more ethical to buy the blended oat milk than to pay for a cow to be forcibly impregnated and have her babies taken away from her?
It's a false distinction.
Oh, is it a false distinction?
Okay. I think I would say, no, actually, I think that's a pretty reasonable point.
So, you guys you're telling people that it's human milk?
Yeah.
That's a mess, though.
To highlight that people are weirded out by consuming milk from humans, but are happy to breastfeed from an entirely different species, from a cow they've never met. We think that that's weird, right? Who was the first guy who said, oh, I'm going to suck on a cow's titty?
I think the ethical thing is to encourage change towards a better system.
Yes.
Right? But I don't think individually boycotting dairy milk is a particularly effective way of doing it.
Do you have any data to support that claim?
I don't really have data to support the alternative claim either.
So I've got some. It's from Canada, so things are a little different up north.
Definitely.
There is a huge dairy company there. They shut down some of their cow factories because the demand for plant-based milk is so higher. They're shifting to plant-based milk entirely because of consumer demand.
Right.
I think we should focus on both, and that is what we're doing. But one of the steps towards societal change is individual action. One is systemic change. What I'm asking you is why not both at the same time, right? Why not fight for the systemic change you want to see while also not giving your money directly to the dairy industry, which abuses cows?
Because people will make the same argument about the clothes industry. They'll make the same argument about solar panels, batteries, things like that.
In an animal less food paradigm, would you shoot an animal that's eating your crops?
So I think in situations like that,
Use a combine to harvest all the oats, I guess. But
sure. So no, if you're talking about the combine that accidentally kills some animals, is that what you're talking about?
it's not some. It's billions.
It's not that many. So there's this clip of Ted Nugent on Joe Rogan, and he claims that the combines kill millions of animals, and it totally went viral. So a lot of people kind of use that as an argument against veganism. When you look at the actual numbers, it's basically if I ate my current diet, I'm accidentally killing maybe 1 to 2 animals per year, which is unfortunate, and I would prefer that weren't the case. But those animals aren't having their rights violated. They're not trapped. They do have the ability to run away. Humans are also accidentally killed in crop production. That doesn't mean I'm some murderer, right? In terms of if an animal were eating your crops, could you protect your crops? If a human were, destroying your crops, I think you could protect them from that human too.
Because people aren't searching out the specific implication, people aren't buying the forceful impregnation or whatnot, right?
So
I don't think that's...
Let me kind of explain. I want to address your first point, and then I want to kind of create a larger picture for you.
Okay.
So in the first point we have, yes, we buy clothes that could come from unethical practices, right? When you go to the store and you see 2 shirts, right? You don't necessarily know which is more ethical. It's not on the label right there. When you go
It will be on the label, but the label.
you can't trust it. Exactly. When you go to the grocery store, you do know for a fact that the oat milk did not come from direct animal abuse, and the cow's milk did come from forcible impregnation and taking the baby. But wait, let me make my second point.
Yeah.
I see animal rights as a social justice issue, and the same way that women's rights is a social justice issue, that animals should have rights, and it's not necessarily about just the consumption. So what I'm encouraging is for people to grant animals rights and move beyond this kind of consumer mindset, because I agree with you there that that's not the most useful frame. I want us to evolve away from viewing animals as resources and view all animals, all farm animals, in the same way that we view dogs and cats, typically as individuals who are deserving of moral consideration by virtue of sentience. So,
That's fair.
yeah, does that make sense?
I don't disagree with you on that
The
point.
macros of this?
Per cup, it has 10 grams of protein, which is 2 more. That's 2 more than cow's milk, because human breast milk is designed for humans, whereas cow's milk is designed for cows. So we have different macronutrient requirements.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so great macros.
Thank you so much. We're going to go have some food trucks.
Okay. Well, okay, one thing before you go. This is actually oat milk. We're fucking with you. It's not really human breast milk. So the macros on oat milk aren't as great, but soy milk has as much protein as cow's milk. And people say there's estrogen in soy. It's phytoestrogen, which is plant estrogen, so that won't affect your hormones, whereas dairy milk does lower testosterone in males. So if you're health conscious or trying to build muscle, ditch the dairy, stick with the soy milk.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah. That's the way to do it. All right, y'all have a good one.
I think I would have a lot of trouble cutting meat out of my diet. I would starve.
I don't want us to be like, oh, you're wrong.
Yeah.
But meat is just as unnecessary as fur or leather. I found going vegan to be so much easier than I expected, so that's why I come out and advocate for it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and
I mean, you probably wouldn't be advocating for it if you starved.
Sure, but I also wouldn't be advocating for it if I didn't think people could do it. It's something people build up in their heads, and then when they actually go vegan or try it out, they think, oh, this is a lot easier than I expected. And that's not just my experience, that's many experiences of vegans that I've talked to.
It's like arguing a religion almost between different dominations. No, I think it is.
Well, let me explain the difference in my eyes. So for you, maybe it's kind of philosophical and interesting. For these animals, it's life or death. They are forced into a life of torture because people such as yourself aren't taking this issue seriously. It's akin to a woman who's being beaten by her husband and the government says, oh, that's legal because you're married to him. There's a victim on the other side.
There are plenty of people who went vegan and then stopped.
That's true. So I think what we can kind of differentiate here is the difference between a plant-based diet and an ethical vegan. Many people go plant-based as like a health thing or because it's better for the environment. They are likely to stop. But when you really connect with the animals, and like when I look at a piece of bacon, I don't see bacon. I see a pig screaming in a gas chamber, and I've been to slaughterhouses and heard them. So when you really connect with the animals, it does become easy. So you're right that it's not going to be easy for people who don't have that connection there, but everyone can build that connection.
I will say, if that is how you see meat, that doesn't sound particularly healthy to me. I don't think it would be healthy for me to look around and say, oh, there's a screaming animal, there's a screaming animal. I don't think that would be very good.
It's psychologically difficult, definitely, but what I see is the reality behind what actually happened. Whether or not you want to see a pig screaming in a gas chamber, that is what happened to that pig to get to the store.
I don't think that shooting a deer and eating it is murder. I like dogs, but like a Chinese dog farm is like, oh, hey, I get it. I think it's distasteful.
Sure.
That I'm not going to like go on a moral crusade against.
Right. I guess I'll make the point again that I appreciate you talking, I appreciate your thoughts on the matter, but whether or not animals deserve rights, your thoughts I don't think should come into the picture. I think they should deserve rights because they're individuals who are conscious and cognizant and have emotions. In the same way that women deserve rights, it didn't matter if men didn't think they should deserve rights. They did inherently. Same thing for animals. They should have rights whether you think so or not. And that's what we're fighting for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand that.
No, I'm very sympathetic.
Awesome. Well, can I give you some resources or give you a documentary to watch?
I don't think I have the time, frankly.
Okay, but just remember that it's just time for you, but animals' lives are on the line. and every day you don't look into this, you don't go vegan, animals are abused because of your actions.
That's a fun argument. I will say, and
Yeah.
this is a tip for you.
Okay.
That is the kind of argument that will not work on most people.
What about you?
No.
Okay.
That is the kind of argument I do not jive with.
Okay.
I do jive with most of your other arguments, though.
All right, appreciate it.
Good case.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button. If you want to support my work, join my Patreon. Otherwise, I will see you next Friday. Thank you.